Hello, beautiful one. Kaya here from Mother's Awakening, and I'm honored to share messages from another goddess in our diary this year, and also in the goddess activations in the Magical Mama Manifesting System. We have 13 of so many different powerful goddesses around the world that are also inside you, archetypal energies that make up the empowered, connected, whole, soulful mother that you want to be and that is within you. All these goddesses make that up inside you and you can activate them. So I've just been sharing these little videos of bringing up the 13 ones that are in this diary, and the one I want to bring up now is Inanna. You've possibly heard of Inanna, and Inanna is a Sumerian goddess. There's some beautiful stories about how she went to the underworld and she was just willing to strip everything away and fully own and stand and face every layer of her being. And that's the message that Inanna brings us as mothers, how important it is to own our shadows, to own those parts of us that we hold shame around. For so many reasons, and especially because every single human, and then I'm speaking particularly to mothers, every single mother has shame, has these parts of us and these things that we do that we judge and that we think are wrong. And we seem to have this habit of being convinced that the things that we do that we hold shame around, like for example, completely losing it at your child and turning into a psycho mama, that it's somehow worse and more shameful when we do it, that there's something really, really wrong with us, and we push these things down and we hide them. And I remember times in my parenting journey when I felt so riddled with shame and guilt for days at how I exploded at my children. And then it would be a vicious cycle because I felt that intense shame. I'd want to hide it, and I'd be shocked at the thought of other people seeing these horrible parenting mistakes I'd made. That I'd try to push it down, and I'd be like, well, this is not who I am. I'm not that. I'm not these take these things that have exploded out of me that just are so wrong. I'm gonna push them down and be something different. And in that, I'm not working through the shame. I'm just kind of trying to put a lid on it. And this is so the experience I had when I was first learning about shadow work. I heard this really awesome story. It was told by a woman called Debbie Ford, who's an amazing shadow work teacher. It's about beach balls. She said that your shadows, which are those parts of you that you make wrong and that you hold shame around, that you want to hide from the world. I keep realizing there's this funny bump of hair. That they're like giant beach balls. And what you're doing when you're hiding your shadows is you're trying to push them under the surface of the water. And that's like trying to push them out of sight, out of mind, trying to push them under your conscious awareness, and also trying to push them out of the awareness of other people around you. But just imagine how hard it is, and you would know if you've tried to do this, how hard it is to push even just one beach ball under the water, because it's so full of air, it just wants to come up. It wants to explode out of the water. And imagine trying to juggle pushing down multiple beach balls under the water. What happens is that takes a lot of energy, and when you lose focus from that, when you when your energy gets drained, when you can't use your energy to hold the beach balls down, they fly up out of the water. And because you're pushing them down, they fly up with so much force. And that's kind of a metaphor for that. Like, say, for example, because this has been a shadow of mine on my journey, is that, like, crazy psycho, I'm losing it completely at my children, pushing that down under, and then I'm exhausted. There's no one else around to watch. It's just my children, just the people closest to me who bear the brunt of it. The beach balls fly out and, like, hit them in the face, metaphorically speaking, as in, I can't hold them under anymore. They have to come out. And the antidote to that is to really own the shadows. Own that psycho mother. Own that selfish, neglectful mother. Own the lazy mother. Own whatever it is. And it's not even just mother. There's shadows in all areas of your life. Own those different parts of you, because they're in all of us. And it's often the case, like for me with the crazy psycho, I'm losing it, I'm not coping anymore, and I'm yelling like all that kind of stuff, is people would often say that doesn't sound like you. You're such a soft and gentle person. And that's often how it is. It's like it's something that we make so wrong that we try to hide. But you can't hide different parts of you. You can't hide the parts that you're making wrong, because the more you make them wrong, the more they grow, the more they fester. And realistically, we do all have all of these things in us. So it's so powerful to claim those different parts of you that you make wrong. And the most empowering reason for that, as well as just the liberation, because it doesn't control you anymore. It's not like you're at the mercy of these beach balls, to use the metaphor, to continue with that metaphor. You're not at the mercy of them anymore. But also I discovered that there was this whole other layer to me being an empowered, effective, connected mother that I didn't have access to until I claimed my shadows. So I had kind of gotten a bit lost in wanting to be such a loving, connected mother that I lost what I've been calling no shit taking, boundary setting, responsibility taking, and responsibility giving, like letting my children stand on their own 2 feet and not kind of take advantage of me. All of that stuff, which is actually just as important in conscious, connected parenting as all the like unconditionally loving, giving energies. And I didn't have access to that when I was making the rah mother wrong, because that's all connected. Like the more I make my explosive, my needs matter energy wrong, the more I make all that empowered kind of energy that's connected to that wrong as well. So I didn't have access to it until I claimed that, yeah, part of me completely can lose it at my children. And until I felt completely okay with other people knowing that, which is, we need to do that, like for ourselves and for everybody else, because it happens to all of us. It's so ridiculous, all the shame that gets loaded onto mothers, all the pressure, all the guilt. Like, you're not expected to be this perfect model citizen. You're a human, and all humans have shadows, especially the ones who deny that they do. So it's time to just be real and authentic and honest with yourself, and find those spaces where you can. And that's the message from Inanna. Claim the parts of you that you've made wrong, because that is the most liberating and empowering experience, and it helps you to be so much more conscious, so much more empowered and connected with your children and as a mother and in the whole of life. So yes, I love the messages from Inanna. And I'm going to read the affirmation that comes in the Goddess activations in the Magical Mum Manifesting System. And as I read this affirmation, if you can, say it out loud with me, and even if not, just really breathe it in to your body, into your bones. Inanna says, or Inanna asks you to say, all parts of me have value. All parts are working to serve me, no matter how misguided they are. The more I embrace all of myself, the more powerful I am. The more compassion and love I have for all parts of me, the more whole and in my light I am. I will not abandon myself. I am love and light, and I embrace all of myself as worthy of my love. And so it is. It was such an honor to share this with you. Not sure if anyone's here, but whether you're replay or live, you can totally leave any questions, even if I don't see it now, and love to continue the conversation. And I am bringing another goddess very soon, hopefully tomorrow, if I get my act together with that. Tomorrow is Lisa and I, because we live in Australia, and even though we are still learning. Hi Tanya, wonderful, thank you. Even though we're very much not super connected to the Indigenous dreaming stories and messages of the creation stories within Indigenous Australia, and it is so different because all of the different archetypal energies and stories from all the different cultures around the world are so different. It felt really important to us to connect with that because it's also where we live. So the next goddess is from Indigenous Australia, from the Kunwikyu people in the Northern Territory, and her name is Inanna, and she's very much connected to the stories around the rainbow serpent and how it creates life on Earth, how it did create life on Earth, how it does. And the energy that really came to us when we connected with her is around creativity and owning your ability to literally create so much in your life through honoring your creativity, and how everything, and not just painting and drawing and singing and dancing, but everything begins with that spark of creativity, and how so often mothers put their creativity aside. So how important it is to honor that. So I'd love to share her next time. So much love to you. Mwah! Bye-bye.